What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and just like that, an agreement has been reached on more stimulus spending. It is no April Fool's joke. This is your stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and breaking news update. And take a look, you guys. The agreement was reached. Senators reached a tentative deal on $10 billion in additional pandemic funding, Romney says. Senators close in on $10 billion pandemic relief deal. The lawmakers close on pandemic funding deal that halves what the White House had requested, and $10 billion pact would finance vaccines and treatments, but provide far less for global vaccination efforts. And there you can see Republican Senator Mitt Romney and Democratic Senator Joe Manchin reaching an agreement on more funding for stimulus to battle the pandemic. And you guys, this is huge news after we had just heard the president come out and announce we need to get this done, pleading for Congress to come to an agreement to pass more stimulus. Now, in addition to that, we had heard Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said that they were working on it behind closed doors, and now we're seeing it come to fruition. So I'm going to give you all the details as to what they're saying. However, we're hearing that not everybody is happy about this. As we had heard in our last video I shared with you, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell came out and said, we need to stop this. All of the spending, all of this money that's going out is causing this record high inflation. That is the reason, and we need to stop it right now. And the American people are concerned about sky high prices. This is just going to add more so to it. Now, in addition to that, I'm hearing that progressives are not happy about this either, as they're saying we need far more money than this. They wanted $20 billion or more of additional funding to help battle the pandemic, and they're also calling for other pieces of legislation to pass through, saying we are not doing enough. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are we doing too much, causing inflation, or are we not doing enough to help out people? Now, in addition to that, I shared with you in my video this morning, if you missed it, you might want to check it out, that now that this pandemic funding is going to be passing, they're going to turn their attention towards gas stimulus checks. We heard directly from Nancy Pelosi, who said getting rid of the federal gas tax is not going to be enough. That will not ensure that gas companies will lower prices. They might just take bigger profit margins. So, in order to ensure that people get assistance, stimulus checks is probably going to be the way, and they're considering it right now in the White House. If you missed that video, check it out right after this one. And also, you guys, we're hearing that Build Back Better is going to be coming back to the attention of Congress now that this is passed. We're going to be seeing, and also there's a 2022 stimulus reconciliation bill at the disposal of Democrats to get stuff done, and we're hearing they want to get stuff done right away because this is a midterm election year, and if they want to stay in power, they're going to have to show voters that they can get things done to help them out during this time. So you guys, let's dive right in. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. Going to share with you the video footage of what Nancy Pelosi had to say and the details of the new agreement. But before we dive right in, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second. If you appreciate the updates, if you could just smash that like button for me, helps out the channel a ton, just takes a second. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out if you think it's going to help out other people. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date on everything going on, totally free, come join the Ram fam. I'll let you know everything taking place. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you're notified as soon as uploads come up and I give you updates. And if you got any specific questions for me directly, I'm easy to get a hold of. All you got to do is hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. More content coming on that second channel in the month of April. Keep an eye out, you guys. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, guys, so we're going to dive into the details of this agreement here in just a second. But first, let's take a look at what Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi has to say as Pelosi slams Republicans over cuts. It's a problem. It's a shame. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Any questions?
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. On COVID relief, some Senate Republicans have suggested that the package could drop down to $10 billion, putting billions of dollars for global COVID vaccines on the chopping block. Would that compromise be acceptable to you, and are you confident that this could get done by Easter recess?
I think what the Republicans are doing is either they don't care or they don't know, but it is wrong. We must honor our response. Of course, we had a bigger package, and it's cut back to 15, that 5 that they said, so what? Stop the world, I want to get off. That's who they are. You don't know that, but that used to be a play. and so how can we say? We have said, we have pronounced, everyone knows, none of us safe unless all of us are safe. By the way, this is not enough money. We're going to even need more money. But because of I'm an appropriator, as you know, so that's my orientation, appropriations and intelligence. And appropriators left to their own devices can get this done. And they have ways of doing it. That is paid for. We agree. What should be paid for. But they will not accept the pay-fors that had been traditional in using budget outlays and the rest. This is shameful. And we have to get the money. It's not going to last this past probably June 1st. So for them to they're making statements saying, well, we don't see this as a problem. It's a problem. It's a shame.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and a link in the description below to this article that came out from the Washington Post. Going to give us some details on the agreement lawmakers closed for more pandemic funding, which is half of what the White House had requested. It says key Senate lawmakers said on yesterday, that they had agreed on the framework to continuing funding for vaccines, antiviral treatments, and other supplies for Americans, but that they would drastically cut plans to help vaccinated millions of people around the world. We've reached an agreement in principle on all of the spending and all of the offsets, said Senator Mitt Romney, who has led negotiations for Republicans after they balked at the need of $15 billion in new funds, and House Democrats have raised concerns about a plan's compromise, as they had wanted a whole lot more, as we had heard from Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. Now, if passed in its current form, the $10 billion deal would represent a significant disappointment for the White House, which had publicly campaigned for at least $22 billion in new funds and would probably be forced to scale back elements of their planned response. But lawmakers are facing a rapidly approaching deadline. With Congress soon taking a 2-week break, the administration officials warning that they are effectively out of cash for urgent needs. The federal government has already begun to wind down a program to cover the costs of healthcare providers that give pandemic tests, treatments, and vaccinations to uninsured Americans, an initiative that officials said has cost about $2 billion per month. And we're hearing the funding is likely going to be ending, as you heard the Speaker of the House say, around June, July. Now, we are getting close to a final agreement that would garner bipartisan support. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said, adding that lawmakers were working diligently to agree on a package that would address both domestic and global needs. Senator Mitt Romney, who said that the money would come from unspent funds from previous stimulus packages, added that he expected a vote on the deal next week. So they're saying next week they're going to get this done, and they're using unused previous stimulus package funds. And I've let you know here on the channel that there's about $800 billion left over we're hearing to use. And a lot of people are saying, hey, why don't you use those for stimulus checks? That's enough to provide two $1,400 stimulus checks, a fourth and a fifth. And we heard from the president, who said, Congress, please act. You have to act immediately. The consequences of inaction are severe and they'll only grow with time, but it doesn't have to be that way. And it looks like Congress has responded. So you guys, I'll be sure to keep you up to date on this piece of legislation, see it pass through the House, the Senate, and then see the president sign it into law. And then we'll see what other bills Congress turns their attention towards, as we're hearing on the way is going to be a revised Build Back Better bill, and also stimulus checks for gas. And we'll see what happens with other provisions people are requesting, like child tax credits. I'll keep you up to date on all of this, as we're expecting a lot to start rolling here as we get closer to those midterm elections. And with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. And as always, if you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate it. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Got any specific questions for me? Shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. And with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me. Hope that you and the family have a blessed weekend, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.